The first memory I have on this is, as a kid, this is how I paid my allowance. This is what I did. My parents said, take the bottles back, and that's your allowance. And the convenience stores at the time were more than happy to do it. The way the system worked is the same truck that brought Coca-Cola to the store took the empties away, so there was no storage problem. It was just normal business practice for small. The big retailers, they were the ones objecting, not the little guys. And I know this because this is an issue I worked on for 25 years. In fact, one of the first phone calls I made as an environmentalist was to Dan Leckie's office. It was to Dan Leckie's office where I spoke to his assistant.
Oh, who is that?
Who was Dan Leckie's assistant in the mid-90s? She's the chair of this committee. And we conspired together a little bit about the importance of getting a deposit return system. And the City of Toronto has always been a leader on this. Karen mentioned when she was questioned that we can return wine bottles too. The reason we can return wine bottles is the recently deceased former city councillor Howard Moscow moved an amendment to the zoning bylaw in the City of Toronto to make it illegal to sell wine in the City of Toronto unless you took the bottles back. And the province of Ontario promptly caved and created the very legislation which we are now relying on for recycling in the province of Ontario. So Toronto has always made progress on this as a leader. An interesting thing is happening right now. Because the province took over the blue box and said the industry had to pay for it, suddenly the beverage industry is realizing that putting money into an inefficient mixed recycling system gets them worse outcomes at a higher cost. So after decades of opposing deposit return, I now have a letter from the Canadian Beverage Association, which has been circulated to all of you, saying we want deposit return. It's only when they had to pay the cost of the really inefficient mixed recycling program that they finally caved in. As long as they could offload that cost onto municipalities, which they have been doing. Fun little historical fact, the Blue Box is the creation of something called the Ontario Multi-Materials Recycling, Inc. And Omri, which set up the Blue Box program, was funded by what large corporation? Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola paid to create the Blue Box system in the province of Ontario so that they could close all the bottle washing stations, shed tens of thousands of jobs, and get municipalities to pay for the mess they created. We're finally at a turning point. We're finally at a turning point where we have broken the back of the relationship between the big grocers and Coca-Cola and Pepsi, and can get to the better environmental outcome at a lower public cost with more convenience to the consumer. And it is more convenience because nobody likes an overflowing litter bin in their park. Recently, we had the Due West Festival. I live a block south of it. My lawn, even though I'm not on Dundas, nor does my street intersect Dundas, it's parallel to Dundas, was covered in containers on both Saturday and Sunday mornings. That would not have been the case when we had a deposit return system. So better outcomes, cleaner city, lower cost, and good for the small guys. And finally, with the support of the beverage industry itself. Time to move is now. Thank you.